How was the meeting?
It was good. It was weird. I've not been in that position for a while. He thought I just left my agent.
Thank you for checking out the Boys Quarter podcast, where we are in the compound, but we don't belong in the main house. We're available, so feel free to go and check us out on all the audio platforms. But since you are here, please do click the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Let's get into this content. Okay, you
And
fresh out.
I was like, no, I've been holding these streets for a while now. But it was nice to be in a position to talk to an agent and not have my, not have my skirt all the way up, my thighs ready to get fingered because I've
Mm.
seen white people on the wall.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it was more like, bro, what have you done for me lately? Why am I not singing me today? But it was
Mm.
more like I told him the truth. I told him how I've been with big agents, so the fact that you have no one on your wall is not interesting does not bother me. It's like, what can you honestly do? Because
Bruh, Kanye said every agent I know I hate agents. And it's like it's sometimes you need to let them know that low key I
yeah,
don't mess with you, though.
I like that line. But you know what it was, Allah? When I first signed with my first agent, my second one. The second one, not so much, but the first one was literally genius,
Yeah,
you know. And so this time it was just more like, this is what I want. What can you do?
yeah.
And it was nice because he wants to sign me, and it was nice to be wanted. But
Mm.
I said I have a think and just see how I feel. And but I was just happy to be able to be honest with him. I told him I'm cynical. I'm probably not gonna like half the things you send me, but we can work.
Yeah.
You know?
I think to be honest, if I was going back to managing and that's exactly what I need. I need to know the deal up front.
Yeah,
At least then eventually you can streamline how you work with each other. Because
yeah,
look, if you think about it, yeah, if Top Dog was if what's his name, yeah, dude over at TDE, the one that signed Kendrick Lamar. Imagine you sign Kendrick Lamar and you start trying to get him to do the standard rap way up. Maybe you try and put him on Love and Hip Hop or something. You're wasting your
I
time.
know what
If
you're
he's
saying.
if what's that?
You know what you're saying. If you watch, remember the Wu-Tang documentary I told you to watch? Did you watch it?
Yeah, yeah, I did.
Remember they tried to market RZA as a ladies' man,
Yeah,
and he was
yeah,
like, "I'm not a ladies' man."
yeah. It makes
So I
no
saw the
sense,
ladies' man video, and I was like, "RZA, what the hell are you doing?
bruh.
Even I don't find you attractive."
Maybe he should have taken his dick out for you.
No, that's a friendship circle thing, not a random person.
Just a small callback right there.
That
But
was
yeah,
that was
my
a way off. That was a pause. Like,
um,
we don't do with random rappers, okay?
but yeah, this the approach is very important because you as a manager yourself, you don't want to you don't waste your time running down opportunities for somebody that it doesn't even suit them, doesn't even suit what they want to do. And I think the real like I feel like we don't have enough celebrated managers. We have a lot of celebrated artists, and that's great. But I think the work of a manager is definitely something worth um, hailing up, and not only hailing up, but also learning how to do well. I don't know if you've seen it recently, but do you know who Lickle Man is? He does social media videos. Anyway, he's a short guy.
No, I don't know who he is.
All right, cool. So it's a short guy, and basically he was on the roads. He'd been to jail a few times. Even as short as he is, he was still on badness. Now there's another guy called Bouncer who's a rapper, but now just kind of does social media stuff. He's from Play Dirty camp. That's Krypton Conant's camp. Now
Okay,
Bouncer basically started managing Little Man and was basically getting his social media game up. Right, they were doing little sketches. It's a short guy. He's very very small, so it's very easy to come up with scenarios for him. Um, Started getting him all these different opportunities, trying to market him as a personality. And so recently, now that's become a discussion about Bounce was putting up his own money for to try and build this guy up. And so they were splitting things 50-50. And so Little Man, I guess, recounts this as like some kind of bad deal, some kind of raw deal where he was getting screwed over because Bouncer also tried to trademark his name. And Bouncer's like, we were business partners. Like, I put money up. I was giving this guy a place to stay when he came out of jail. Like, I was making sure he didn't go back into jail. This is more than just a small little manager relationship. And so I think one of the key takeaways I took from that is we for a long time we haven't had any real managers who are really ready to like work with a raw artist and develop them. Most of them are waiting for you to pop, and they try and ride the train on the way up.
Pause.
Uh, pause, pause. But I'm saying that like we need to go back to those guys who had vision, those guys who could take somebody, see something in them, know how to dress them, know how to market them, know how to pick the songs, know how to whatever it is, and take them from where they are to where they want to go. I think that's such an underrated skill, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a musician.
But even though as a musician, I'm saying even for you as a comedian,
But
how many times do we have a positive conversation about a good manager or agent?
I don't. I've never had my agents were good. My agents were great.
But I'm saying we rarely have a conversation about like this person is a good manager. This person knew how.
I don't know any comedy managers though. Do you? I've never had a comedy manager. I don't know any managers.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
it depends on who you talk to, because.
I hired my wife briefly, but I had to fire her.
But typically, I mean, I don't think that's any. I don't think that's because I just don't think she can manage your career anyway. But if you're a superstar, established comedian, yeah, you know your wife managing your on the come up.
I thought to be honest, I honestly thought it might be a good shot. To be honest, she got me one great opportunity, and it did set off a bunch of other good opportunities. She basically just told me to enter this competition. I didn't want to do it. She pushed for it, and I entered the competition. I ended up performing at Montreux in Switzerland, and then got the contacts for doing South Africa and so on. So like that was a fantastic move by her. But other than that, she wasn't really about this work. She was sleep. She was sleeping on tour. She was sunbathing and that. I'm like, we trying to sell tickets, baby. We're in America trying to sell these tickets.
I wouldn't let anybody because my friend wanted to manage me, but I just said to her, I can't tell you to go fuck yourself. And because I do that, you can't manage me.
But what about all these people that let their parents manage them? They can't tell their parents to go F themselves.
Now.
I'm talking about like Usher.
Have you seen Usher's mum now?
Usher's what?
Usher fired his mum.
Yeah, but they all use their parents on the come up though.
No, on the come up. His mum wasn't manager on the come up. His mum was his manager around the second album.
And what about Beyonce's dad?
Is he managing her now?
I'm saying I'm not doubting that they eventually fired their parents.
They were children though, and their dad put them in. But it never ends well. It either ends really bad, or you just put yourself to the side. So and also, Destiny's Child thing wasn't healthy because it was Beyonce. Y'all doing this for B. You know?
Destiny's Child was Beyonce. The rest of it was Destiny's friends. Destiny's child's friends.
They were the children. Beyonce was the Destiny.
That's it. We got there. We got to the punchline.
Beyonce was the Destiny.
Yeah.
She was always
and the fact that he could switch them out like they didn't even really matter.
I didn't even blink. That's what you know. Yeah, we know who about the vehicle is. But yeah, Macaulay Culkin, so many people. Jay-Z fired his dad.
Do you think you could have
Hell no.
What?
My dad managed me.
No, I was even gonna ask that. I was gonna ask, like, let's say you could rap or you could sing or whatever. Do you think you could have a career where 90% of the reason you're there is to be part of the vehicle to build someone else's career? Could you do that? Could you be Kelly Rowland or Michelle?
Yeah, because you wouldn't know at the time.
But you find out, man. At some point, you find out.
It's too late, though. You have to leverage your celebrity. By that time, it's too late.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that clearly some of them left. Some of them said, we're not doing this. Yeah. Some of them stuck at, what
was the name of the album they released? Carry on.
I mean, LaToya Luckett went into acting.
Like I said, what was the album they released? Exactly. What's LaToya Luckett's latest film? Huh?
I don't know. She was in Greenleaf.
Roland, Michelle, they're gonna be alright. They're gonna be alright.
Yeah, but what I'm asking you is, could you do that knowing you're gonna be alright, but you'll never be the star?
What I know, yeah, because music is not about being a star. Star is not music. That's not an organic thing. That's created. That's not why you're in the game. Because I've learned, only because I know now. At the time, maybe not, but I know now. There was a woman who was a backing vocalist for this other woman. And she, it's one of them ones where you're on, when it's a live show, they let the backing vocals sing their little part. Mm-hmm. And then the audience get gaslit. She can sing better than Whitney.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so you start to get those things in your head, but you quickly learn singing is not about singing, it's about selling records. You know what she quickly learned? She can't sell records.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Nobody cares. So guess what she went back to doing?
Back up.
It happened again. Everyone's like, you should sell records.
Bro, people, don't take advice from people that don't know.
Oh, so what I'm saying is, if you get the fourth guy in next, baby, when we're crying, that's bro, ride that road to the cow comes to the wheels, because it's scary. It can get really worse for you when you try and front the vehicle.
But you don't ever look at Spliff Star and be like, bro, you could have been.
Nope, Spliff Star cannot rap.
I mean, he could have rapped, but I'm saying like. To be honest, and to be honest, I'm saying this to play devil's advocate because I fundamentally believe that like the quote that I always share with you about there's no limit to what a man can do or where he can go if he doesn't mind who gets the credit.
Absolutely.
So I genuinely believe that, but I also know that especially in hip hop culture where you're constantly bragging about how you're the best or how you're the top dog, to be in D12 knowing full well that like. Your Eminem's boys, like nobody's really going to.
They all had careers though. They all had proof. It's a legend in Detroit. So is thingy Bizarre. So they all had careers off of it. Con Artist still opens for Eminem. They knew themselves. We're not gonna get past this. You think they were great MCs?
And that's the thing that I wonder if it ever gets into your head in those kind of environments where you kind of go, "Am I really gonna follow this dude around for the rest of my life?"
Hell yeah. You're not going to follow him for the rest of your life because Eminem's not going to put music out for the rest of his life. You don't see.
But you know what I mean, though. Like, no one's ever going to really go and buy.
Well, do you think the Outlaws are running with Tupac thinking one day we're going to overtake this nigga? They were in the wrong group for that then.
But we know the Outlaws could have rapped, though. We know Outlaws could have rapped.
Could rap. Hussein Fatal could rap. They were very good rappers.
They were alright, man.
No. They were very good rappers. Hussein Fatal was a very skilled lyricist.
Okay, maybe I haven't heard.
By the way, rapping on Tupac's track, who's gonna stand out?
Obviously, Pac.
Exactly. But if you took away Pac, because I listened extensively to his music. You take away Pac, Hussein could rap his ass off. So could Gaddafi. But they were 16, remember? Well, Hussein was 23.
Okay.
He was 16 years old, so he was gonna, or 19. He was gonna project to be better rapper. But what I'm saying is, here's the thing: corrupt.
You know, I always think about Big Psych, and I'm always like. Big Psych was there as like a novelty on most of these tracks.
Great rapper. It was more like a Bay Area, and he can flow on the track. I liked his flow on Picture Me Rolling. I like that flow on Thingy. Sometimes he was getting better as well around Park. He was understanding. Before it was just a bit. Although am I going to hell or I reach heaven? That verse was fire.
Fire?
Yes.
Fire is the strong term.
What do you define as a fire verse?
Bro, I mean, everybody it's subjective, so 100%. But like, am I going to hell or did I reach heaven? After all the shit I did with my Mac 11.
Gotta save my soul. That's the way that daddy raised me. I got a 100-round clip to my 8. Just two different thoughts. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. We're talking about I'm losing it, right?
Yeah.
So I get it. Everybody's verse was about how like they're losing their mind.
That's I'm going crazy. Niggas can't fade me. The one that we're talking about is Ready for Whatever.
Okay, okay, yeah. Either way, I get the vibe, and it's not. Trust me, I rap along to Big Psych verses. I rap along on
or Nas or a Biggie. That's why you're making. That's why he seems quite short. He's not that level of rapper. He's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna say to you was corrupt.
Okay, but here what I'm trying to say. Here what I'm trying to show you. Right? What I'm trying to show is like. Okay, when Freeway was signed to Rockefeller, on What We Do, I love Jay-Z's verse and I love Freeway's verse.
Freeway's verse
was sick.
Yeah, because it's his song.
You know, but you'd be surprised though. Memphis Bleak was still okay. Memphis Bleak was nice. He wasn't he was my least favorite.
Eagle.
Yeah, sorry, Beanie Siegel. Beanie Siegel was the
Yeah,
last
he's
person on the
nice.
track.
BC in the third lane. Well, I'm
Tipping in my word lane.
That's what you gotta get your
so
soul
clean.
Yeah.
But okay, let's be honest though. Like Jay-Z and Freeway's verse were like perfectly, like they both matched to be on the song. Even Beanie Siegel's verse, everyone earned their place on that song. But on a Tupac song, it definitely felt like, hey, take your little brothers along with you. If you're gonna go out to the studio, take your little brothers with you. Let them go on the track as well.
No.
Pardon?
Which song?
On most songs where it's Tupac and Outlaws.
You can't say most songs because I disagree on every song. You'll tell me which song, because you can't tell me it was Take Your Little Brothers to the Studio on the Made Niggas. You can't tell me it was that on Hit 'Em Up. What? Get out the way. Biggie Smalls just got dropped. Little move past the
Okay, Hit 'Em Up's not what I was even thinking about.
To get spank right. Are you mad?
No, I'm talking about like the ones we've mentioned so far, like on the Are You Still Down album. Those ones you've mentioned, like Ready for Whatever and I'm Losing It. On those ones, like even on All Eyes on Me, All Eyes on Me has Big Psych on it, right?
Yeah.
I'm not even trying to really hear Big Psych's verse like that. Like Tupac's verse.
I got keys coming overseas. Got this nigga too. I'm a street comeback, but want to start bang banging. So I'm running with this fame. West Coast change.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I can vibe with it. I can enjoy it, but
like I said,
it always feels like there's a syllable off, or
you only picked one Freeway song, which was a hot song.
I just use that as an example.
Okay. What about Checkout Time? You're telling me Big Sack didn't only spawn that verse.
Checkout Time.
What? When he said, what's it called? If What's could talk, they say you try to fade us, put in the word for it because it's in the bed and hear what I said. Patches going to do. So I'm blacking out. You're letting that Big Sack, daddy. We did it in the caddy on the highway, my way. He's lost in the dream when he sings to me tonight. $5 a crystal and I'm still tight. Out of sight for Parker corrupt. What? It's a hitty sticky situation.
Listen, you get up, baby. You're on vacation. It's checkout time. Now, to be honest, I love checkout time. And to be honest, I love everybody on checkout time.
Only three people.
But I'm saying that, like, it's. I just feel like when there's obviously always a star, right? And then they have their boys, they have their crew, whoever it is, right? And the gap between the star and the crew is wider in the Outlaws than it is in some other crews.
One Outlaw verse because you don't listen to them. I don't think you listen to the Outlaws. I think you just assume.
I don't listen to Outlaws as in, like, I don't know if did they ever put out projects?
Yeah.
As the Outlaws.
Yeah.
Okay, I've never listened to an Outlaws project.
That's all trash. What I'm saying, when they were around Pac. What I'm saying is when they were around, now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying the Outlaws were great rappers, okay? But you're comparing them with rappers as opposed to crew members.
Okay, but here's my point. I agree with you, right? In most cases,
bring Mace's Harlem World to the table. And let's see how good they feel.
Yeah, I don't remember. who was in Harlem World?
Right. Even Biggie's crew, Junior Mafia, bring them to the table.
Okay, but with Junior Mafia, at least he had Lil Kim in there.
And you know what I'm saying? Lyrics.
He did.
Exactly. That's why she sounded good.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like
his lyrics. Why do you think he didn't put an album when Biggie died? Well, that's my ghostwriter call. You know, everybody. All I'm saying is, if you compare the Outlaws with crew members, you'd realize they're not that bad. But you're comparing them with MCs.
But what I'm doing is you're comparing crew members across the board. Yeah. I'm comparing what's the gap between the star in your crew and the rest of the crew.
Well, it depends on the crew because I think Corrupt is a better rapper than Snoop.
Okay.
But Snoop is a star, so he can't touch it. But I think Corrupt's a better rapper.
Okay, yeah, that's a fair example.
Yeah.
Of where.
But then you also have Daz in that group.
Yeah.
No, and then both of them. But he's a West Coast legend, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, it depends on the crew. Hear what I'm saying clearly. Yeah. I don't think the Outlaws are banana splitting. Okay? Or let me rephrase that. When you look at the crews, right?
Yeah.
even Mobb Deep is rude to say they're a crew because the two of them actually rapped well. They were rappers.
Yeah.
It's the 10th nigga in Mobb Deep. You'd be like, these niggas. Okay, I'll tell you another crew. Queensbridge Finest. That was some ass.
You know you're being disrespectful now, man.
Even Jay-Z, Memphis Bleak. You want to hit away his whole career, nigga, please.
Yeah,
it's hard to form a crew. It's hard.
It is hard to form a crew. To be fair, like, I'm trying to think of a person that had like a strong star rapper and a strong crew.
I don't know if you can find it, you know.
That I'd want to buy. I mean,
like, did you buy Proof's album?
No.
I tried to listen to Proof's album. I was like, okay, it's not my stuff. It's not my stuff. Not my stuff. But that could be down to production and, you know, the money he got to invest in it, you know?
I tell you who probably is the closest for me. And he's still got one that's clearly like is an L. That's 50 Cent. Because I liked Lloyd Banks. I actually wanted to listen to Lloyd Banks' album. And I did listen to Game's album as well, the documentary.
Game? So, we can't put Game in there, though.
But I'm talking about like when Game was G-Unit.
It wasn't never really G-Unit, though. It was just to put him with the...
As far as for a period anyway. For a period he had him and then obviously kind of went his own way.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'd never really messed with Tony Yayo or Young Buck like that.
By the way, all of them, Tony Yayo gets a lot of respect in the streets, so I'm not going to say nothing because I've never heard his. I can't say I've listened to his catalog. Yeah. But Young Buck and what's the other name? Tony Yayo that was in prison the whole time.
Yeah.
Came out, everyone was gassing him. I listened to his album. Bullshit. The best song I heard is the one with 50 Cent. That's it. Wait, what about Obi Trice? Obi Trice came out a bit.
Obi Trice was sad for me because Eminem was talking like he's gonna do 10 million units, blah blah blah, and it just never Obi Triced all the way through.
It's too gimmicky.
Yes,
Exhibit, who Eminem, them lot talked him up as well. The album just didn't hit.
Man,
yeah. How did we even get to this crew abuse?
I don't know. We're just talking about the Outlaws, man.
No, we're talking about Tupac, weren't we?
Yeah, Tupac and the Outlaws.
I got a Tupac quote though. This one's gonna blow your mind.
Oh, go on, man. Go on.
My brother came to my room last night. He goes, "Fumbi, Bob Dole is dead." I said, "Bill Clinton, Mr. Bob Dole?" He said, "Yeah." He said, 1996. I said, "Oh shit, he was too old to stand there where the game goes." So those of you that don't know, on How Do You Want It, Tupac said, "Bill Clinton, Mr. Bob Dole, you're too old to understand the way the game goes. You're lame, so I gotta hit you with the hot facts."
Yo, so Bob Dole died recently or something?
Yesterday, bro.
Oh. I didn't even know, but I didn't know the news part. I know who Bob Dole is.
You know Bob? Yeah. I only know him from the Tupac song. That's a shame. And is he the one with the funny arm?
I don't know if he had a funny arm. I know he's a VP candidate. He was vice president.
Who's the one that? What's his name? Jamie Foxx said that arm. He hit me. You know.
Jamie Foxx rude.
No, anybody did it. Even Cedric said. I think they said Bob Dole fell over, but they tried to grab him by that little arm.
No.
By that arm all the time.
No, that's not fair, man. That's.
So how are you gonna put that quote though?
Yeah, to be fair, he is. Yeah, it was him.
You think I'm making it up?
No, I was just confirming it for you because you asked. But yeah, it was him.
I tell you, which one of the Outlaws wasn't great. Okay, let me.
I'm just gonna put for the title. I'm just gonna put "You Too Old to Understand the Way the Games Go."
Like that. Like I have my favorite Outlaws, obviously. Hussein and Fatal. Yeah. So Fatal and Gaddafi were the two strongest.
Okay.
Then it was Edie, because he's been around Pac for so long.
Yeah.
Then it was Castro, who was Tupac's cousin.
Okay.
He was decent. Napoleon was the kind of like just a homie. He was still figuring out his bars.
I love the fact that you know them. I'm sure you know them by name, by voice recognition.
Well, I don't know them by governments.
Okay.
Just by the outlaw names.
Okay, fair enough.
But you have to understand, Tupac and Gaddafi, obviously, as you know, had a very unique relationship.
What was their relationship?
Well, Tupac's Gaddafi's dad is Sekou Dinga, who is he was one of the people that was down for the cause, and they sent them to jail for robbing the armor truck with Matulu Shakur in him.
Okay.
So he went to prison. So that's how they're all Panther people.
Okay.
So obviously, what's her name, Afeni and Gaddafi's mom were very close. So it's like a family bonding. So Tupac always used to say, "That's my little brother."
Yeah.
They have a unique bond. In fact, if you look at the video where Tupac is spitting outside the court, Gaddafi's sister's right behind him.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a very unique family. Edie, funnily enough, has 2 kids with Tupac's sister.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so when Tupac says, looking at my nieces and nephews, those are Edie's kids.
Wow.
Sister had the baby as an adolescence where it was God. Castro obviously is his cousin, and then Hussein Fatal, he was introduced through Gaddafi, and Napoleon, who was the youngest, I think he was 16 at the time, he was also introduced through Gaddafi. His parents were killed in front of him, and Tupac really connected with that story, so he brought him on as the outlaw.
Do you think all their names came naturally, or they were like, look, I've got this theme, it's this outlaws theme, let's all pick like dictators and...
That's exactly how it happened. It was actually Gaddafi's mom who picked out the names, because Tupac was like, I want us to be named after people that everyone America. Remember when everyone talks about, everyone disguises themselves in gangster disguises, Don Corleone, it's fine because that's what inspired them. Remember, like I said, he was raised by revolutionaries. They weren't about to call themselves, you know what I mean, the untouchables. They were gonna go after political figures. So that's why he's Machiavelli, Napoleon, Idi Amin, Gaddafi, Castro, and even Mussolini was Big Psych.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they that's how the names came about. Exactly how you said it. They picked those names. They gave Napoleon because he was short.
Okay. Well,
he had a short man complex.
Okay.
And then obviously Gaddafi, Yaki Gaddafi, then the stopper who can cut me. It was well thought of. It was not just, people don't give rappers enough credit for how intelligent they are, how well read they are.
Yeah.
How they can pick up, how they've read books about fighting techniques and they bring it to the raps. So it's always interesting to dig deeper into the surface. I've kind of stopped watching interviews on Tupac now, because it's always the same question. Do you think Tupac should have won a vest that night? My nigga. Oh.
Who asked that, man?
It's just the same questions. Do you think Suge should have, driven left when he went right? It's like, what?
How many play-by-plays are you gonna do on the same?
How many? They ask the same questions from even when they bring Napoleon back. This is what he loves to ask. I just love it. All right, so that night in Vegas, give me a play-by-play how that day went, like from when you woke up. What the hell?
Well, I had my Fruity Loops that day because I usually had Cheerios.
Obviously, there was no milk in the fridge, right? So we had to go on. Guess who was on the milk cart missing? Pac. I'm joking. It's just the weird questions, and it's just it's just the same question. It must be difficult for a lot of people, especially if you were in that Tupac camp. If you're invited on Sway in the morning as the Outlaws, don't nobody want to hear what the Outlaws have to say. The question, yo man, it's good to have you on, man. I met y'all in the Bay, right? Yeah. 2 of those, right? So when Pac was 20.
But that goes back to my question of, can you be okay with basically being in the shadow of a star?
How else would you get on Sway in the morning?
100%. I hear you, bro. I hear you. It makes sense. It makes sense, but you just have to know that for the rest of your life, if somebody interviews you or meets you, the way in which they're going to know you is, I used to roll with Pac, and then they're going to ask you about Pac.
There's a reference. When I shook Tretch's hand, this is going to sound hella fanboy. I was trembling, bro. I was so in awe, because this is someone who knew Pac, who rolled with Pac, and had Pac's tattoo on his forearm. I was like, oh my God, Tretch. This is as closest to Pac I will ever be.
Mad.
So there is something in that. You don't think I would interview Idi Amin? Come on. And what I'm saying to you is this. If you were in Chappelle's camp, you think, what's the name of Donnell Rollins? You think he cares that people ask him? That even if he said to him, you're Chappelle's bitch, I don't mean his bitch. Who are you? You out here in the comedy store opening us, bitch?
Bro, I hear you. No, I hear you, man.
And it's a good thing to know as a person, your position in everything. You play, bro. Some people are there to sell those records. Some people are there to support it. My brother, that's one thing I always envied about my brother. What I loved about him, when they was doing backing vocals for Amy Winehouse, he never made that about him.
And to be honest, I think that's a sign of big maturity.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that like if you're part of that championship winning squad with Jordan,
Right.
you're probably only real basketball fans probably gonna give you that love or that recognition. But if you truly went in there for the game, you probably get more satisfaction knowing that you're the one that passed it to him on that final layup
Mm-hmm.
than you get from
Well,
necessarily being the big star.
Kobe scored 81 points in the game, and Kwame Brown was like, "Who do you think was setting screens so he could get open?"
Bro,
You know?
these are the real questions we do need to
Can
ask.
you imagine playing with Messi and you're only mad because they never really used to square me the ball? Nigga, we had someone that could do something with it.
Yeah.
And so you have to understand in life, Messi is the greatest player of all time, but he will tell you, thank God for Busquets in my team. Thank God for the left back that we had. They share in that greatness.
That's a really good point to end on, man. I think we need to
This nigga wrapping up.
I think we need to. No, but that's a really good point right there, man.
So, just before we say that, it's an insane point. It's such a good lesson to learn. Know your position, and you will be rewarded. My dad used to say to me, "Yeah, when he goes to the church, he said that we will always sit at the back. When you play a position in that church, they will bring you to the front one day. You always get that person that wants to sit in the front. Mommy GOCO flow has arrived, and everybody's like, you know what? She floats into the front. Everybody's on clear the dust. There's always room for that. If Beyonce walks into a room today, everybody, the cameras are going to be on. But believe me, someone styled the dress she's wearing. You know? So, like you said, there's no limit to where a man can go. It doesn't mind who takes the credit. But sometimes, you're going to want to take the credit. It's just human nature.
I hear that.
Notes.
I hear that. Guys, much love, man, as always. Thank you for those of you who keep listening to the pod. Keep sharing it. We did the Spotify Wrapped, and I think 21 of you have this podcast as your most listened.
My brother was in that list.
What's that?
My brother was in that list.
Fantastic, man. Such a big honor. Appreciate every single one of you that's given us your time, your effort, your ears.
Such an honor to hear our voices, man. I just hope you guys understand what you're listening to right now. Go ahead, Ola.
Yeah, I know. It's much love and it's much appreciation. Shout out forever to the BQ squad. Listening to the BQ pod. Hit up Fumbi on Fumbi, at Fumbi on Matayo. On Instagram, at Fumbi.
I don't buy it. I mean, I won't respond, but I still just slide in. Let's like tell people. Let's like pretend my DMs is popping.
Yep, and at Fumbi on Twitter. And then I'm at olathecomedian on everything because that's on Neighborhood.
That's on Crip.
Alright, guys. Stay blessed, man. Peace.
Peace.